So an important question comes up. Why is socialism seemingly so hard to define? Well, it comes down to part of its orthodoxy. Essentially, there is a almost religious fervor around certain portions of socialism, which people are adamant that this is the only kind of socialism that can exist. Some of it is obfuscation, uh, a deliberate attempt to make it hard to define it so that certain people can go, oh, well, yeah, it looks like what we're doing is socialism, but we're not really doing it. And alternately, so that some people go, ooh, that particular bunch of socialism over there makes us look really bad. So we're not going to define it as socialism. And a lot of it comes down to misinformation coming through education. Uh, it's the big lie of socialism. If you keep telling people that certain things are socialism and certain things aren't, but you don't go back to the root definition, people get confused and they'll say, oh, yeah, I heard this in the thing that this particular group of people is and this group of people isn't, so therefore that's just how it is, without thinking about how did you get there. Now, one of the problems is people tend to pretend that Marx invented socialism, so therefore he gets to define what it is. But as we mentioned in the previous video, there were many, many schools of thought in socialism. Marx was a latecomer to the game. Now, the one thing that made him stand out more than others is he actually came up with a hypothetical system that would bring his brand of socialism online. However, uh, that doesn't give him the power to define socialism because what he came up with never worked in the real world. And just because his adherents are orthodox in their beliefs about his system, they don't get to decide what the definition of socialism is either. Uh, so that's one of the major issues there. Now, one of the things that also comes up is some socialists don't want the baggage of the name to embrace it. It's a lot easier being a socialist in a country like the United States if you don't call yourself a socialist. So you could be doing something very socialistic and go, well, that's not socialism. Yet we have a thing called Social Security. It is a socialized portion of the retirement system of America. Then when we get to things like the more problematic brands of socialism like fascism or national socialism, those are viewed as heresies because they make all socialism look bad. So the easiest thing to do is pretend they're not socialist by altering the definition, which if we go back and look at the original definition I did in the first video, clearly they are socialists. And the other nice thing is the fascists and national socialists were absolutely defeated in a way that very few countries have ever been defeated before. And so their histories are written by the winners. And the winners have chosen to decide that we're not going to call these particular brands of socialism socialism.